Good morning, student. We are going for next unit, third unit. So third unit is networking layer. So what are the networking layer? What is the design issues will be present in network layer? We'll discuss now. So before going to discuss about network layer, what is network layer? Network layer is the third layer of the open system interconnect model of OSI model, and the layer provides the data routing path for network communication. Data is transferred in the form of packets via local logical network path in order to format control by the network layer. So what is mean by a network layer? So we know that network layering is a bridge or nothing but it is a connectivity between our transport layer and data link layer. So middle we have network layer. So in this network layer we have to see the main concepts is logical connection setup, data forwarding, routing, and delivery error reporting are the major responsibilities is going to be takes place by the network layer. By taking these responsibilities, some design issues will be going to be takes place in a network layer. What are the design issues? So to solve the design issues in a network layer, uh, mainly to solve the problem of the delivery through a several links, because the network layer is a interconnectivity between so many routers, right? So we have to go for the problem, and the problem is delivery issues, packet delivery issues from one host to another host. Okay, so we'll see now. The network layer was designed, so the network layer is responsible for host to host delivery and for routing the packet through the router, one router to another router. It has to take care. So the network layer design issues includes the service provided to the transport layer and internal design of the subnet. So what are the major issues? The major issues are in network layer is must deals with first one is store and forward packet switching. Store and forward packet switching. Second one is service provided to the transport layer. Third one is implementation of connectionless service. Fourth one is implementation of connection oriented service. And final one is comparison of virtual circuit and datagram network. So what is this store and forward packet switching? So in store and forward packet switching mechanism, a host transmit a packet to the nearest router. So the packet is stored there until it fully arrived, so that the checksum can be verified. Then it is forwarded to the next router along the path until it reached the destination host. Here the diagram is showing that host H1 and host H2. So here the packet is moving from A router to C router. Before going to moving from A router to C router, the packet will get all the checksum by the A router. Then after only it will be forwarded to the next router. So by following to it will be reaches to the destination, right? So the environment of the network layer protocol is shown in this diagram. So the major component of the system is carrier equipment. So see here in this you can notice that one thing you have to notice, that is, so this is the subnet mask. The subnet mask is going to be covered with a group of routers. A group of routers are interconnected, so, right? So This is the oval or circular shape inside which are connected is routers. So the outside which is showing that equipments, right? The outside which is showing that the equipments, these are, right? So these are the inside, these are the outside, right? So in this h1 is the host, it is acting as a source, and h2 is acting as a destination host. So here p1 is a process 1 and here another one is p2. Here you can notice this f is a one router, f is also one router, but it will be connected separately, but it will not connected with all other routers, because this f is connected to host 2, it is separately working or owned or operated by the customer. It will not connected with the that subnet, because our individual homes we have a another router or modem we have going to be used to connect the network, but in the network itself so many routers are interconnected. That is the major basic difference. So here host 2, for example we are the host 2, in our system one more router will going to connect, because to with that router we can connect n number of devices in our home itself. So that f is nothing but in our router, within our premises the router will be present, that will be the f. So this will not going to take care about in the subnet routers. So here in the oval shape which are present, these all are the subnet mask routers. What is this subnet mask routers? These all are interconnected to transfer the data, right? So first of all we'll go for the what is store forward packet switching. Most of the host with a packet to send transmit to its nearest router. So here is the host which will be send a packet to the nearest router is a, nearest router is a. So nearest router is a, packet is transmitted. So the packet a is transmitted via c, right? So just have a look. Before going to send to the c, the a router will uh, completely collect the packet information and checksum, then only it will be feed forward to the next router, until unless the packet will not move from a router to b router, right? Sorry, a router to b router or a router to c router, the packet will not be forwarded until unless the packet information is completely received by the individual router, right? So this is the most important thing and most important information. The packet has to store there until it fully arrived, so that the checksum can be verified. Then it is forwarded to the next router along the path until it reaches the destination host where it is delivered. This is the process of store and forward packet switching. Store and forward packet switching. So the next store service provided to the transport layer. What are the services are provided to the transport layer? Mainly the network layer provides services to the transport layer at the network layer slash transport layer interface. The network layer services have been designed following goals is in mind. First one is service should be independent of router technology, and second point is transport layer shielded from shifted from number and type topology of the router present, right? So the transport layer should be shielded predefined path. So all the four packets are divided individually, and there is no selective path. Automatically they have selected their own path and feed forwarded from one router to the another router. So automatically the packets are divided their own individually. These are the two different paths. They can take their own path to reach the host 2. There is no predefined structure. So here you can notice that every router maintains a table. Every router maintain a table. A router maintains this table, B router maintains this table, C router, D router. So like this, every router is maintaining their routing table. So what is this routing table? So what is the use of this routing table? So every routing table has a internal table telling it where to send a packet for each position destination. Each table entry is a pair consists of destination and outgoing line to use for the destination. Only directly connected lines can be used. Here you can see this, the two outgoing lines for a router. Two outgoing lines are present. One is for a, one is B, another one is C. Two outgoing lines. So for every incoming packet must be sent to one of this router. A must be sent the packet one of this path for B or C, right? So as they arrived at A packets 1 2 3 were stored briefly to verify their checksum. Then each was forwarded to the C according to A's table. And one of the packet 4 was forwarded with B, forwarded from the B path, but all remaining 3 will be 1 2 3 will be forwarded via C path, and only fourth packet is forwarded to the B path. So here you can notice that, you can see this here. You can see this here, the packet P1 packet 1 is there at forwarded E, then F, but the packet was initially is forwarded from A to C, C to E, E to F, right? So first packet, and coming to, and ultimately it reaches to the F. F is going to be encapsulate the information, right? When it goes to the F, it will be encapsulate in a data link layer framing and sent to the host H2 over the LAN. The packet 2 and 3 follows the same route. Packet 2 and 3 follows the same route. Next one is, on the arrival of packet 4 to A, it will be sent to different route than that of first three, because of A is updated its routing table as shown under the label later, and the algorithm that manages the table and makes the routing decision is called routing algorithm. So we will discuss briefly about this routing tables in next classes. Don't worry about this. Okay. Next we'll go for the implementation of connection oriented service. What is this connection oriented service? Here the connection oriented service means just in connection oriented service, a path from the source router to the destination router must be established before any data packet can be sent. Here you can see this. Here you can see this. Three hosts will be there: host H1, host H3, host H2. So here from source side, H1 and H3 will be present. H1 is working with the process P1, H3 is working with process P3. Both will be combined the information both at a time. Host H1 and host H3, using a router of A, they can send their information to the host H2 at a time with help of the subnet mask of ABCD network path, or nothing but that is a network subnet path, right? So here you can notice that the virtual connection, this is the virtual circuit. When a connection is established, a route from the source machine to the destination machine is chosen as part of the connection setup and stored in a table inside the router. So here you can see this. So H1 and H3, first they are sending their packet to the C router, from C router C12. So must be C, they are fixed. The route was fixed, A to C and C to E and E to F. This was the fixed route. So that's the reason A is received all the packets which is connected with host H1 and H3. It will collect all the packets, and the router A is transmit the all packets in a same direction or one direction. So here only one direction is packets are moving, that is A to C and C to E and E to F, right? Ultimately at the F part, all the packets which is received from the subnet of routers, that received packet will be reaches to the F. The F will be going to encapsulate the information in a data link layer, and that will be given to the LAN. Then LAN will going to give to the system for viewing the information at H2. So here the main problems is going to be there when by using this connection oriented service. What is the problems? We'll see now. Before that, here the route is used for all traffic flowing over the connection, and when the connection is released, the virtual circuit also terminated. Means here the virtual circuit is going to be established a connection, or nothing but a route is going to be established from source machine to destination machine, is chosen as a part of the connection setup and store the table inside each router. So automatically predefinedly they are fixed the path from source to destination what router has to follow, from which router to which router the packet has to be forwarded. That will be predefined in a virtual circuit network. So that is the reason all the packets should follow the same router path. There is no uh, there is no change in route of transmission of the packet from source to destiny. Here the route was fixed in a connection oriented service. So each packet carries a flow label. A flow label. What is mean by a flow label? Flow label is nothing but it defines a virtual path the packet should follow. That is the flow label. Here the flow label is virtual path should follow. As an example, consider this host H1. Host H1 has established a connection 1 with host H2. It is remembered as a first entry in each of the routing table. Each of the routing table. First connection was H1 to first connection is H1 to H2 first connection. So the connection is followed like this. So first packet. So it remember as a first entry in each of the routing. This is the first entry of each routing table 1 1 1 1, right? So all routers fix this 1 1 1 1 1 1 path. So next H3 is the host transmitting the information. So H3 as the host transmitting their first packet of information. Here 1. So here C is 2, A is 2, E is 2, C is 2, F is 2. Means here A, C, E, F all should follow same path. All should follow the same path. So that's the reason first packet how they are transmitted, and the remaining all packets should follow the same path in the virtual circuit network. When H1 was established a connection with H2, it chosen the connection identifier 1 and tells the subnet to establish the virtual circuit. This leads to second row in the table. Note that we can conflict here because although A can easily distinguish connection 1 packet from H1 from connection 1 packet from H3. So C is cannot do this. C is cannot be do this. So once again I will tell you briefly issues: datagram network, virtual circuit network, circuit setup need not be used in datagram networks and virtual circuit is required. Addressings, but every packet should have a source and destination address in datagram network, but virtual circuit is not required. Only virtual circuit number is only required. State information, router state should not holds the information of the connection. So but in virtual circuit network it always connected, one router is connected to another routing table that is required, but in routing each packet is routed independently in datagram network, but in virtual circuit network all packets should follow the same path. But next issue: effect of the router failure. If the router failure in datagram network, only the router which is passed over the router, the packet only be crashed. All packets the remaining packet should reach the destination. But in virtual circuit network, any of the router will fail, entire information was failed, because it will be it like a chain way or gateway or connecting chain way. So if any of the router chain was collapsed, entire information was collapsed. So quality of the service here in datagram network is typical, but in virtual circuit network, easy for enough resource can be allocated in advance for each virtual circuit. And conjunction control, it is typical, it is difficult for conjunction control in datagram network, but in virtual circuit network it is easy if enough resource can be allocated in advance for each virtual circuit. So conjunction is nothing but crashing or colliding of two packets. So this is the video it representing about network layers. Network layers will go for the next video with routing. Thank you, my dear students.